Welcome to our second episode of our review series for Star Trek TNG. Today we are reviewing The Naked Now, technically episode 3, and first aired in October 5th, 1987. Adam, was you even alive back then?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. And in this episode, the crew of the Enterprise is subjected to an exotic illness that drives them to unusual manic behavior akin to a type of alcoholic intoxication. Written by DC Fontana and Gene Roddenberry. In-universe date 41209.2 in 2364. Okay, we've got the preamble out of the way.
The all-new adventures of Star Trek, The Next Generation.
You sent me a screenshot, a very spicy screenshot, I believe, of a certain Tasha Yar. Clearly this titillated you.
I didn't expect it, that's why.
This is her most famous scene. For that character, it's the most famous scene apart from getting killed by Armor, Skin of Evil. Spoilers.
Yeah, I knew she dies kind of abruptly, really, for people who were watching the series at the time. I don't know why she got killed off either, because she seems like quite a cool character.
If we just take a minute to talk about Tasha Yar and give her some respect, she was based off the hardcore Marine lady in Aliens. Do you remember her with the big Vasquez machine gun? Right?
Yeah.
And what's his name says, "Have you ever been mistaken for a man?" And she's like, "Have you?" Like really crushes his manhood. So she was based. They wanted someone like that on TNG, but the problem was, over the course of the first season, they didn't give her enough to do. So she wanted to quit. That's the end result, which then makes Worf the security officer, which makes much more sense. It makes gives the cast more to do. But at the same time, you have to feel for her, because by the time season 3 rolls around, everyone gets something else to do. It's just different. They just re-energize the show instead of her doing cameos as Romulans and alternative versions of herself.
Yeah.
Oh well, at least we got to see her abs.
Yeah, she looked good.
Yeah, and she proves that Data is fully functional.
I was there thinking, what's going to happen here then? Because he's an android. So what gives? What's going to happen?
Yeah, they kind of leave it up to whimsy, don't they? They don't really explain anything else other than let's just make it a cute moment. It's never touched on again.
Yeah, although like the show, because it's not the second episode.
Yeah,
everyone seems to be still finding their footing, and all the characters seem to be just kind of fresh and still don't seem to know what their roles are or know what they're doing and stuff like that. It seems very much like that. A lot with all the characters, the way they talk to each other, the way they interact. Picard especially is very abrupt and I see more strict and like very straight talking to people. Like he just tells people to shut up, or Data he treats Data like crap. Like it's quite hilarious. He hates Wesley, which is hilarious also as well.
And justified. Yeah, there is a kind of pointedness to Picard, but I don't think it's too far out there, because the change isn't abrupt enough for me. So to me, parts of who Patrick Stewart is playing is there. Just as much if you watch the first episode of Voyager, Catherine Janeway is Catherine Janeway all the way through. Like the characters are set up. You get the consistency to a large degree with her performance. Maybe not her writing, but with the performance. What other standout moments were there for you?
Just everybody seems to be pissed or intoxicated in some ways. They're all sweating profusely, and they all seem to be just wanting to fuck, basically. I like how the transition from the first Star Trek, to this is very apparent to me anyway, because you got that sort of cheesy, quirky, that feel of that show seems to be kind of blending or merging into this. It's still sort of exploring itself, so that is still very much present into this. But obviously, as the seasons progress and go on, they sort of grow into their own show, and it grows up basically a bit more into modern audiences of that time.
Yeah, the music certainly guides you. It's like telling you this is a dramatic moment, so here's the dramatic music.
Yeah, this episode, I quite enjoyed it though. I really enjoyed the episode because it just made me laugh a lot. I enjoyed it more than what I thought I would, and I'm so far into it now. Like I'm on episode 13, I think now, of season 1.
Huh?
Yeah, I've been watching episode after
but how are you going to remember which ones to review.
I know, but I've been getting into it, and it's just been kind of like a guilty pleasure sort of thing.
Don't get into it. Watch your week.
Well, I have been getting into it. I like it. I've been. The thing is, though,
Okay.
the reason why I like it is because it's just like good. It sounds ridiculous and cheesy, but good, honest, sort of like straightforward sci-fi. You know, where I'm watching something without all the politics and all the crap of today. Like I'm watching something void of all that. It's really funny to watch this and then compare it to shows that are out now, because they don't focus on any of that stuff. And that's what Star Trek was about anyway. It was about beyond any of these gender politics or different social camps and all these different messages of today. It's void of all of that. And it's sort of like on a higher, to me, a bit of a higher plane of like television or existence, because they're sort of like, they talk about society from the 20th century and they sort of reference it sometimes, but then it's like we've kind of got past that and we've evolved past these things, and the show does talk about it a little bit sometimes when it goes into certain episodes, but it's quite interesting to watch it in that respect.
The modern day politics is there. It's done through allegory rather than hit you over the head with it. That's the difference. I think that's maybe
that's probably that's
so
probably a better
that subtlety.
what I'm trying to get forward to. Yeah,
that subtlety is refreshing, because everything is just so dialed to 9 or 10 with what we're watching, especially if you ever get into like the Rings of Power TV series on Amazon.
I did really enjoy this episode. I particularly liked some of the Picard and Beverly scenes, which were quite funny.
I just want to pick up some things that I noticed at the beginning and then maybe save our good things for the end. All good things. Remember, we got a little section.
Oh. Okay, sure.
Okay. Sure. Did you notice? So you're talking about the sex, right? Everyone's banging, but no one. You don't actually see anyone banging because it's family-friendly television. But did you notice that when Geordi enters that room with the ice, everyone's covered in the ice special effect from the first episode that Q probably jizzed everywhere, right?
Oh, yeah.
Everyone's naked, but you don't see anything because their body's cleverly arranged to hide all their, adult bits. But the lady that falls out of the cupboard is clothed. It's like, God damn it. Geordi touches the only clothed person in there. And the wrong woman falls for him, which then sets up his love life career for the rest of the series, because he never does it with the women. He's never successful with the women. Anyway. And also the dialogue, I think, apart from the music being a bit scattershot and has these hallmarks of TOS. And it's a reference. The show makes a reference to the TOS episode. But
oh yeah, because
the naked time. They say here the dialogue is so blunt, so it's so raw. They say make sure it's maximum decontamination, and it's like, well, why wouldn't you want maximum decontamination anyway all the time?
Yeah,
right. Any fucked up scenario, you want it on, not at 50%. I can understand if you beam over to the next other ship and there's nothing wrong with the ship, you don't need to turn it on, possibly. But
yeah, they want partial. Sometimes they don't want full.
Right, but say if Riker with an away team, they go to another starship, right? And Riker's banging this woman and she's got an STD. Then when they come back, surely the molecular detectors or whatever would know that he's got an STD and just remove it, okay? But then he wouldn't need, I guess, full decontamination, right?
Yeah.
Hold on, I can hear some music with that. Can you hear music?
Yeah. What is that?
I don't know. It's some bag that's activated itself. Anyway, what we're talking about? We're talking about the STD.
STDs. Yeah.
So okay, so even a little thing like that, maybe you could say we don't need full decontamination. But is it actually a drain on resources? Can you not just do it all the time? Just go through decon. So it's just a weird dialogue to have, which they never do ever again. They just talk about pattern buffers and just check the transporter logs. That's it.
There's a lot of weird dialogue throughout for quite a long time, until it's definitely starting to sort of change a little bit as I'm watching more. But I've noticed at the start it was very raw and very basic. There's a word I'd probably use.
A lot of weird touching as well. That they never do ever again, just to get the virus around.
I know.
Are you okay? Are you okay? What's up with you?
I don't understand. Like they sort of know there's nothing wrong. As a doctor, she should be like, everyone should just be quarantined. It shouldn't be a thing. I don't understand why it wasn't a quarantine thing anyway. I know the census didn't pick up anything, but at this point, you'd be like, okay, something's wrong.
Riker doesn't know. Beverly doesn't hear Riker, so that gives him the reason to touch her, go under the hair into the neck instead of just tapping her on the arm. It's like, what? And that little sound effect, that little
Oh yeah, yeah.
Can they not hear that? If they can't, why can we hear it? It's such a weird. Can you not hear the rattlesnake? Huh?
There's so many weird things in this episode. I just love it though. I love how they interact with each other and they're sort of pissed, but it's so funny.
I can get it for the TOS part. I understand it for that. But in TNG in the 80s, it's like, come on, you're giving me a cue here. If it was a visual cue, a flash of light, then the characters have to see it. It's so bizarre. Can you hear the wood creaking on the stage when they go on the bridge?
I've noticed it a couple of times. I don't know if I have noticed it in this episode. I think I was laughing too much at what was going on,
okay.
so I probably didn't notice it as much. But I have noticed it.
It's just about with the rawness of these first episodes. Dialogue is a bit crazy. The music is whack, and the floorboards are creaking. And what
I noticed as well some of the doors as well. I've noticed actually they look wooden because they're painted. But I noticed a little bit in certain scenes.
Yeah,
that's quite funny.
There's an episode later where Geordi, I think, gets thrown through a door, and you can tell it's plywood, but it's supposed to be metal. So he shouldn't have gone through it. He should have just been smashed up against it. You'll pick it up. And for me, as someone who's watched this episode numerous times, I tend to focus on details in the background now. And half the ship is infected and they're banging. Why are the other crew working? Why is there not like, guys, what's going on? And standing there like, guys, what's happening? Because they might not know that the ship has an infection. They just think it's a science mission. And they're like, why are you two fucking... Like, what's going... Pat down, they break them up, then they get infected. But the rest of them still walking around in miniskirts and just trying to do their job. Like, how casual are they to work-life balance or the working relationships of staff?
That's the other thing as well. Like, a lot of them are in skirts, and that's quite funny. Even the men, some of the men are in skirts as well.
Kilts.
It's amazing. Sure, the kilts. Yeah.
You have to be culturally. You have to be culturally respectful. And speaking of which, how does even Picard get infected? You don't get the rattlesnake sound effect, right?
Who touched him? Was it Beverly?
No, she didn't touch him. But even if she did, that would have been instant. Whereas Riker's like, I'm going to wipe it off my brow and I'm going to continue working. He just plows through it, and yet he's the horniest guy on the ship.
I like how that engineer that she didn't even get affected. She was just working through it all. Yeah, trying to get through Wesley's stupid little force field that he made.
Right. No one touched her, so she was like sober all the way through.
Yeah.
And obviously Riker was as well until the plot needed him not to be. but in the meantime, he'll just wipe his brow, which seemed to be like a temporary cure, like a strepsil. Everyone, just wipe your brow, and then you'll be less intoxicated, just for like a few minutes.
It's just this episode. I'm thinking back to it, it's just so fucking stupid. It's just. Also, this is a Star Trek episode. This is episode 2.
The thing is, when in the naked time, you had some episodes to establish the characters, so you could realize why they're all fucking around. Here, it's the second episode, and it's like, we'll just let you off the chain right away. Do what you want in this episode within family-friendly boundaries. But in hindsight, it's one of the craziest episodes where the crew have to act in a way that they never ever act ever again, except for maybe for Data when he gets what's the word? When he gets afflicted with something else later. And you can do a comedy bit.
I don't understand, right? I don't know the full ins and outs of Data, right? I only just recently figured out that he was
Tasha does.
Found on a planet. Yeah, no, she does definitely, but found on a planet by some, random doctor guy or whatever. I always thought that it was just one of Starfleet's droids that they made an android, and that was it. It was just part of a package or whatever. It wasn't. So that's my first thing of it. I'm like, oh wow, he's not that. And then I don't really know the ins and outs of him, like in the case of certain things affect him, like in that episode, he was quite amused by the fact that everyone's fucking, and he was quite almost like sexually turned on by the fact that she was about to pull him into a room and do him, basically. How does that work? Because he's an android, so he's...
Well, I think in the beginning, they didn't work out all the kinks, because in the TV show, they say that he doesn't use contractions, and yet he does use contractions in earlier episodes, and then they stopped it.
Yeah.
So... They just had more time to establish more of him during later episodes and off seasons, things like that.
Okay.
I like the bit where he's quoting Shakespeare, and at the end he's like, "Do I not leak?" instead of saying, "Do I not bleed?" Like he's sober enough to like rewrite Shakespeare.
It was affecting him as well. That's the other thing that got me as well, because I was thinking, but he's an android. He was sober enough to like do all that, you know.
Well, because if you tell them it's a game, then it's okay. You can do it with your full mental capacities. But if you say, hey, be serious for a second, they're like, what the fuck? It's reverse psychology 101. Works out.
By the way, Wesley's jumpers are doing my head in.
Right, what a Christmas jumper. Right?
Wesley's different array of jumpers.
How does he build his own tractor beam inside a ship? What happens if the machine like malfunctions and he pushes a bulkhead like 2 feet the other way and creates a hole in space through the ship in his living quarters? Yeah, it's just
so many things wrong. There's so many things.
Right, what a cheesy effect as well.
I know.
Even on the updated Blu-ray version. Tell you something, I thought it was weird, and tell me if you thought it was as well. Tasha, when she's getting ready to bang Data, so she's wooing him, she talks about rape gangs, and she's like, I avoided all these rape gangs for like a decade. Now, please fuck me. Do you think that was written by a man, or do you think that was written by a woman? Like, come on.
I had to rewind that and then go,
Did
she say rape gangs? And then it was what she was going on about. And that was weird.
Yeah, because in a later episode, you meet her sister, and the colony's like all fucked up, and basically you get raped somehow on that colony.
Wow.
Yeah. This is in Star Trek, like family-friendly television. Data, I avoided rape gangs. Now I want to take you, and you didn't even say yes, so I'm technically going to rape you. But we all know you can't rape the willing. So we'll just leave it there. Shall we?
That's all she knows. So this is what she knows.
I guess so. What about something that is kind of irritating because it's aging. It's not aging very well. Picard says a word like slussfoot or slussful or slootful, and Data's like, "What do you mean?" And he's like, "Oh, forget it." Data has the dictionary in his head. Why can't he put it together? Even when Riker corrects him and says, "Oh, sorry, I meant the proverbial needle in a haystack." It's like you don't actually need to say that. Data's been operating for 27 years or so.
Yeah.
Like, what's going on there? They like want him to be advanced, but at other times he hasn't figured out human language.
Yeah, they're always like, Picard's really angry. He's always like telling people to shut up, or like, oh, enough Data, or you're blabbering, or he always tells Wesley to shut up, or he's just the boy. It's
right.
Just funny.
I want to move on to some facts about the show before we end with all good things, if that's okay.
Okay.
I've only got 6 facts for you. 3 of them are really quick, and 3 might provide more discussion. I looked on Memory Alpha, and they pointed out that this is one of only 3 times where Picard sits in the first officer's chair, just so you know.
Right.
This is the first episode that doesn't feature a Vulcan anywhere in Star Trek history, because obviously Spock was in every friggin' episode except for in TNG, but somehow there was a Vulcan somewhere in the first episode at Counter at Farpoint. Tip number 3. Insight number 3. This episode canonizes the word Constitution class. Before this, the class of the Enterprise wasn't canon, so they never actually called it Constitution class on screen. This episode makes it canon. Okay, here are the longer ones. DC Fontana, who we talked about in the previous episode, she wrote this story, but Gene Roddenberry wanted more sex in the episode and rewrote it to suit him. Last episode you mentioned he wanted 4 breasts for Deanna. Here, he pissed DC Fontana off by sexing it up, and she wanted her name to be removed from the script. That's how much she hated the story. So all the random weird, like maybe the rape gang mention, and then she's hot for Data, maybe that's all down to Gene. So as I said, was it written by a man? Maybe it was edited by a man, but written by a woman, and she had a different story.
Good job, Gene.
Okay, number 5. Original series cast member George Takei, oh my, wrote in his autobiography that he thought this episode was a total copy of one of the best of the original series episodes, and that it was unoriginal and was like seeing young children putting on their parents' clothes and trying to act like grown-ups. Damn.
Harsh words.
Yeah. And in a similar vein, in terms of what the people who make Star Trek or acted in Star Trek thought about this episode, Jonathan Frakes hates this episode, and Maurice Hurley, who was a producer, who was also hated, by the way, he hated this episode because he's already saying, is this it? Is this what we're doing? Even we're doing second episode ripoffs of TOS. But the director loved it and said it was his favorite episode that he ever directed for Star Trek. And he directed 5 from season 1 of TNG and 5 of DS9 season 1 as well. What's that about? Anyway, Rick Berman, though, said it was an homage to TOS, and yet he hates TOS anyway.
I fucking love this episode.
Yeah, if you want to introduce Star Trek to someone, oh, is this what Star Trek is about? Yes, give them this episode. And then when they watch the next one, it's
Yes.
like, well, what? You said it was only about like fucking and
I love this
shit.
episode. This episode is where and obviously original Star Trek was basically where all the porn parodies came from.
Quite possibly. Have you seen the porn parody?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. It's the one. Is it the one where they find Tasha in a stasis chamber?
No. What's that one?
It's like an actual episode. It's written like an actual episode.
No.
I'll have to find it for you. They go down to the planet and they find Tasha Yar in a stasis field or in a stasis compartment box thing, and they bring her up. And then the guy playing Picard plays Picard. He doesn't do any porn, but Riker, I think, gets to bang everyone. I'll find it for you. Not the episode, but like a reference to it, and you find it.
Okay.
But the Picard guy stood out for me because he didn't want to do porn. He just wanted to act, and the production values are really good for a porn video. The bits I've seen.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Let's go to all good things. We've already talked about a lot of what we liked, but there is more that I liked as well. But is there anything that you wanted to say that you really liked this episode? You can put it in now in this section.
I'm just repeating myself because I loved all the interactions with all the people and the way they were acting. I guess some of it was just very cheesy and very straightforward dialogue, but it was just lighthearted fun for me. I just enjoyed the whole thing. It was brilliant. It's coming from episode 1 to this. It's just night and day because I was like, what the fuck is going on? And then I think that's what's made me watch more because I've gone from this thing on. I want to see more. I want to see the crew and how the writing evolves because I'm interested to see where the hell this goes because I'm fascinated by the early days of the next generation. It's fascinating.
Okay. I do remember as well talking about how in the first episode it wastes a lot of time, and this one gets to the point. It's like infection, and then suggestive incidences of people banging.
I appreciate that as well. I appreciate the fact that every episode that I'm watching, it's not like got one big storyline. It's all episodic. So it deals with a new thing every time. They go to a new planet every time. And that's what Star Trek was about. That's why I missed from did a reboot thing of like the whole other crap that they've made recently in present time. I missed that aspect of what this show is. It's meant to be that. It's meant to be them going to different planets, interacting with different species, going to different civilizations and doing all of that stuff and having these really wacky, crazy adventures where it's just in a singular episode, contained in a singular episode. And then the next episode comes and it's a new adventure, it's a new thing. And I like that. And I miss that about modern sci-fi. Modern sci-fi doesn't really do that a lot. It just focuses on one big narrative. You're then just sort of dragging your feet through episode after episode to basically get to the end of a season, whereas then it'll culminate into some sort of big reveal. And I hate that sort of formula. Whereas this is like, it's so different. To me, obviously, it was very regular back then, but as you're rewatching this now for me, I'm like, this is great because it's something new every time I'm watching it. The crew's experiencing something new and I'm experiencing something new with them. And I like watching that and I like experiencing that when I'm watching this. That's why I've been sort of going through them. And that's why
That's a good take. That's a good take, yeah. The fact that it's from a different era of television. It has a different sensibility and it's kind of appealing in retrospect to now. Yeah. But I do think if you watch For Mankind, by the way, your criticism of television won't be. For Mankind isn't like that. Yes, it ends in a certain way, but throughout the 10 episodes, it's always giving you things. So I do agree because there's other TV shows that will do that, but For Mankind doesn't. Two things I wanted to say in our All Good Things was Picard doing his little jaunt. That, and when I first watched it, the first time I ever watched it, and he goes, I thought there was something wrong with the sound, and I always still do think there's something wrong with the sound. But while he's trying to like get Beverly to calm down, when she leaves after opening her top, did you notice Worf with the side eye? He's like sitting at his desk. He's like, workplace side eye. Who doesn't get infected, by the way? He's there at the con, like, boom, I can do this. Klingons don't get infected. That's the suggestion. But I just love the idea of side eyes. Like, I'm not trying to look at them, but I am looking at them. And the other part was Wesley Crusher is like, Geordi, look at this. I can fake Captain Picard's voice. Look at this, right? And this is the 80s, so they're probably just thinking with a tape recorder mindset, like, I'll just splice this bit from this bit right? But I'm thinking, hang on, he's got that software that I'm using for Star Trek Voyager, and I could just create anyone's voice. He's got it then.
Yeah.
Talking about like it's the great thing, but dude, it's like 2023 and I've got it now.
I know, again, though, making reference to some things we're getting now. It's crazy, really. Think
In a
about
way,
it.
yes. In a way,
Mental.
yes. But
Yeah.
there's a theme in this episode. Or did you think there was a theme behind this episode? Because I found a theme which neatly sums everything up. And I kind of want to explore the themes of episodes as well. So this is our sort of beginning. It seems like a fuck around and find out.
When you say a theme, you mean like them placing stuff like when he did that, it's going to be referenced later on in the episode?
No.
Is
What I
that
mean
you
is,
or-
what does the episode mean? What is it? What's the message of the episode? What is it trying to say to you? If you don't have one, you don't, because I've just surprised you with it. But I have a theme.
I don't
My
get this
takeaway.
at work.
Getting drunk on the job actually works out in the end. Also, the party cups. I love the party cups at the beginning when they get on the other ship that I can't pronounce. The plastic spiral straw party cups. Did you notice strewn across the floor?
No.
They're like, we need something
No.
here to show people having a party. And when they go back,
Oh,
watch
right.
it,
No.
and they've got like these classic party cups, normal round cylinder with the spiral straw on the outside. So you suck it from the bottom. You get them from
Right, I see.
an El Cheapo shop. So that made me think that because it's dating itself, that made me think that the people on the first ship had a 90s themed party. That's my headcanon. Well, it's the 90s again. Let's go for it.
The way they opened up the episode, where it was like, well, hello, Enterprise. Oh, fucking hell. This
And then
little
the other
compass meant is enough to open the fucking channels up and like then they blow themselves out of an airlock or something while they're all having sex, probably.
Right. You can hear the guys in the back going, yeah, do it. It's just like, what?
This just out of place. You got the scene of them lot on the bridge listening to this, like dead serious and stern, and then you just get, why hello, Enterprise, and they're all like banging each other in the background, and you just got the scene. We all know the Enterprise deck and stuff, and we're like, it's just comical.
Just remember as well, this episode comes out before the movie Event Horizon. And do you remember that movie where they go there
Yes.
and they see the video recording of the guy's eyes? He's holding them in his hand and everyone's supposedly fucking in the background, right?
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
doing weird carnal, devilish stuff because they've gone insane. Oh, I want to watch Event Horizon again now, because supposedly in that movie they had this longer scene and they had all these specific performers for the sex scene, but they cut it to such a degree that you just see the guy's eyes in his hand, right?
I like that movie. That's a good movie, that. Like,
Okay, well, Zoom is saying we've only got 4 minutes left. Any other final thoughts? Otherwise, we'll just wrap it up and make it.
I like this more than what I should have, I think. It surprised me. It just surprised me, honestly. That's all I can say.
That's great. If someone else hasn't seen it yet, then they might be more motivated to watch it now.
It's like I say, it's made me want to watch more and more. So it's done its job.
Okay, let's leave it there then. Everyone else, thank you for watching. And next month, we'll probably be reviewing episode 4, which is, Adam, since you've watched them. No?
I don't know.
It's Code of Honor. Probably, well, it's not probably, it's regarded as the most racist episode on Star Trek. So there's that to look forward to. Okay? A planet full of black people, tribal black people.
Oh,
What
yeah.
can you
that
want?
one. Yeah. Oh,
So,
yeah.
This one was just a warm up. Next one, it's the main course.
I didn't even get any sort of racial from that. Oh, man. Oh, it's good.
If you're colorblind, then you're racist. If you can see color, you're
I don't
racist.
see color. I don't see it. Everyone's the same.
Okay, let's leave it there. Thank you for watching. If you haven't subscribed and you've watched it this far, then please subscribe and help me get to 1,000 subs before April. Take care of yourselves. Bye bye.